Hey guys, what is up? It's Doug. Welcome to a special edition of Haul and Wax. And how are you lovely spooky people doing today? I'm doing great. So as of the filming of this, Kringle Candle just put up a Halloween line for pre-order in both the Kringle and Country Candle lines. And with that, they actually have 4 scents that are returning. Yes, Kringle Candle did Halloween several years ago, which have become sort of mythical in the candle community because these candles are very hard to find, or at least they were before they're being re-released here now. I have all 4 scents here, 2 of them in candle form and 2 of them in daylights. And shout out to my friend Shane, the candle enthusiast, who a couple years ago surprised me with some of these scents. And he kind of helped me out to be able to experience them. I love this collection. In my opinion, as a Halloween nut who I guess specializes in Halloween candles at this point, I have a pretty good collection of them. I've tried a bunch. Kringle has the best Halloween collection cohesively for the 4 that they have. And, you know, I don't say that lightly. I think they're awesome. That's why there's so much hype around this, with Kringle bringing back the Halloween line. Not only bringing it back, but having a massive expansion of it. So I actually put in a gigantic order. I ordered a bunch of candles from them. It's going to be a lot of fun whenever that comes in mid-August. It's going to be a huge haul, and I can't wait to do that on this channel. But I know that some of you have never experienced these and are interested in what these smell like, the 4 that are, returning, if you will. And a couple of them are actually returning in both Country Candle and Kringle Candle form. And so I wanted to do this video for you, just a quick impression, so you can wonder, what, if you're wondering what these smell like, maybe some comparisons to other things. And yeah, so you know what? And also, I guess I should say, I have a review on Spooky Villages of Witch's Cauldron on that channel from last year. I also did a collaboration video with Shane the Candle Enthusiast where I talk about Wolfsbane. He actually sent that to me to check out in candle form. So check those out if you're interested in those in more detail. But I'm just going to do quick hits to these candles now. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, guys, going to start off. This is Wolfsbane. And, it's cool that the candles, this one is back in Kringle form, I should say, in a 2-wick with the black jar. They look really, really cool. It's cool to see them come back like that. They weren't available in the large jars before. But anyway, so Wolfsbane. I can smell this candle just as it's sitting here with the lid on. It is so freaking strong. That almost like, it's like a nose shock. It is so strong. It is like, so I've never burned this. I've never burned this. I keep it as a collection piece. I don't know what this would be like if you did burn it. It has to be ludicrously strong. I guess some of you who are going to order the new Wolfsbane candle can find that out. But anyway, so Wolfsbane, the best way I can describe it, I've described it before as evil baby powder. That's what it smells like. It is super powdery, like a baby powder, but there's a crazy floral on top of it, like a crushed jasmine. I can't make out what it is because it is so intense. It like burns my nostrils. But because of that, it gives it this weird evil flavor, a spooky flavor. And I would recommend, by the way, Wolfsbane, if you haven't heard the folklore behind that, look it up. I don't have time to talk about it here. I won't make it long, this video longer than it needs to be, but check that out. You can see kind of the story that they're going for with this candle. But anyways, yes, evil baby powder, the devil's baby powder, whatever you want to call it, that's what this smells like. That is the easiest way I can describe it. It's interesting. If nothing else, if you don't want to burn it, if you really like Halloween scents, the hardcore stuff, it's worth having a jar of it just to have it, right? I mean, the label's beautiful, and it's going to look amazing on that black jar. And again, though, I don't know about burning it. I don't think I could burn it because it might kill me or kill my kids or my wife. And I would rather not that happen. It's ludicrously strong on cold. It's probably the strongest candle I've ever smelled on cold. It's nuts how that powder is so strong here. So anyways, Wolfsbane, evil baby powder. Let's move on to the next one. All right, now I have the Daylight of Fright Night. I don't have a jar of this, and I haven't melted these. Again, these are collector's items, so I'm keeping these, just to archive, basically. This one is the hardest to describe, though. It is a very exotic, there's exotic florals here. Almost like, boy, this is tough. If I say tropical flowers, that brings to mind like sweet flowers. That's really not what it is here. First up, there is a citrus note, okay? It's a very zesty citrus, almost like a zest of lime kind of scent with some bitterness to it. Almost like if you put lime zest on your tongue, right? If you eat it, which I love limes, I love citrus fruit. I can do that. I always, whenever I'm cooking with it, I'll always do that. But there's a bitterness to it when you actually have like the zest, which is ground rind, or shaved rind. You have some of that on the top with the floral note, a heavy floral note, and I swear there's a hint of almost like an incense or a medicinalness to it that spooks it up and almost adds a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of chill to it. Again, it is very, very hard for me to describe this scent. I know that might not help you guys very much if you're deciding on whether to buy this or not, but it's very conceptual, it's very interesting. And the label on it too with those bats, it looks beautiful, especially with that the black tumbler. But yes, an exotic floral with a zest of citrus fruit with some kind of a spooky undertone, slight medicinalness, maybe a slight incense. It's spooky, it's interesting, it's conceptual, but this one, like Wolfsbane, it is not for everybody. Just be warned. I do like having it though for archival purposes. It's very interesting, and I would love to hear you guys whenever some of you that pick this up, what it's going to sound, or what do you think it smells like when it is burning? But it's interesting, and that's the big thing with these candles. I love how interesting that they are, pretty much all of them. So yep, that is Fright Night, guys. Let's move on to the next one. All right, candy corn. Now, this one is available in the Kringle pre-order this year as both the 2-wick large apothecary jar in the Kringle line and in a country candle version. I purchased the country candle version. It looks beautiful with that orange wax. I cannot wait to burn that one. Now, as a brief preview of things to come, I'm actually going to do a candy corn discussion in comparison with several other big companies that have a candy corn scent in their line, and I've got several of them that are really good, and it'd be interesting to compare this. But so candy corn, it's not going to surprise you if you know what candy corn smells like, but it smells so good. The difference in the Kringle one to me is that there's a very authentic honey top note. The honey note makes it smell less like a bag of Brax. The Yankee version, which is good, smells more like that, where you have that more artificial smell. It doesn't smell fake, like it's fake candy corn. It smells like that's what a fresh bag of candy corn smells like. This smells a little bit different, just in that honey is like a super fresh honey, but it smells awesome. And to my nose, I absolutely love it. I'm excited to see what the country version is going to smell like compared to this. Now, again, I've never melted this. I'm just going on cold comparisons. It's beautiful, though. It's an awesome candy corn scent. And the labels, again, on these the new ones, they look amazing. Not a lot of complexity here with this scent. It is what it is, but the honey note does differentiate it. I think it's a very beautiful honey note at the top. So let's go on to the next one. And definitely this is a last but not least scenario here. There it is, guys, Witch's Cauldron. And you can see this one I have burned. Take off the jar here, which, oh man, I love this smell. I have not opened this jar, I don't think, since Halloween night, actually. So that is my tradition. Because I only have this jar, I actually do have a daylight of it too, that Shane was kind enough to send. But for the jar, which I burn here, I burned it the last few Halloweens. And that's my tradition. I only burn it on Halloween. I'll burn it, well, if I'm at work in the day, I'll start it whenever I get home at night. But I'll either burn it all day or when I'm home. I love this scent. This is a very special candle. It is my favorite Halloween candle of all time. Yes, so I adore this. This candle actually was my very first candle review I ever did on Spooky Villages a couple years back. Now, I've since re-recorded it, and I have another review of this candle up that went up last year, because the first one I ever did, again, it was my first video ever, was very rough to listen to. It sounded like I didn't know what I was doing. But anyways, I have a decent one, I think, up from last year on Spooky Villages. My YouTube channel over there, check it out, Review Witch's Cauldron, where I go more in depth to this. But man, I love Witch's Cauldron. This is amazing. I am so excited to read the impressions or see the impressions when other people try this out. This is the candle that kind of has like legendary status in the Halloween candle community, because it's been hard to get for the last few years as the reputation has grown. So this one is actually another one that they're offering in 2 forms. I bought both of the forms so I could do a detailed comparison between how it was in 2014 when these ones were from, and the new ones. But they have a Kringle one and a country candle one, both the same labels, or at least similar. One has the country candle label, but I love the label on this, by the way. Very much it reminds me of the Ultimate Sin album cover from Ozzy Osbourne. You know, my older brother, who's 10 years older than me, he had that in his room growing up, and it scared the crap out of me when I would go in there. So this candle gets extra points for that. It's just reminiscent. It reminds me of that. But all right, the scent. I haven't talked about the scent here. What does it smell like? This is Halloween. I like, just inject this into me. Inject this scent. I love this. This is so, like, in my tiers for Halloween candles, this is so far number one that it's ridiculous how much I love this scent. It's a spooky night in the forest. There is a very, very, very authentic smoke here. There is like some crushed leaves. There is wood, like charred wood. It's very complex. There's a little bit of patchouli here, but this is not a witch's brew type candle. I know that a lot of people, they wonder, does witch's cauldron smell like witch's brew, or is it a dupe? I don't think it's anything close to it. They're very unique fragrances. I don't even really have anything I can compare this to. It's very unique. It's one of the more unique ones you're going to see out there. You know, some, they have their different takes on different things where they're kind of the same scent, but maybe one has a stronger note of a certain thing versus the other. This is just sort of its own animal. And I know some of you are going to hate it. I'll tell you that. Some of you are going to hate this because this is a crazy scent. But if you are a real Halloween nut, you absolutely have to have this on your shelf. If for nothing else, because the reputation it has, I would just recommend buying it just for that. Listen, we all buy stupid things in the candle, candle community, or things we don't like. You should at least have a jar of this on hand. They're offering 2 of it, and Kringle really should always have this be out. I think it should always be out every year, kind of like their witch's brew. It is like, okay, well, you got a witch's cauldron in the name, right? Imagine that wood fire pit underneath that's burning, or imagine it just went out because of the smoke. That's what it reminds me of, or like a fireplace in a haunted house. A house in the woods that's, smoke in the chimney. You just kind of get a waft of that walking through the woods. Again, there's like some floral notes here and a little bit of fruitiness that it reminds me of crushed leaves. A little bit of forest floor. There's a little bit of patchouli here, a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of like dirtiness to it. It's just complex. It is crazy. There's clove here also, I should say. I totally neglected to say that. It is so smoky, it is so spooky, it is so conceptual. I love this. I don't want to just keep talking about it because I'm going to do a whole nother video on this too whenever my Kringle pre-order comes in. So absolutely love Witch's Cauldron. And hey, I should say, I know I'm way into the video. I'm not getting paid by Kringle or anything. I spent actually a ton of money on this haul that I made yesterday. So I'm not trying to do the hard sell thing. If you don't buy it, I don't care from that perspective at all. But I'm telling you, if you're a Halloween nut, you gotta have Witch's Cauldron on your shelf. You should at least try it. I really think you should at least try it. At least then you can be part of the discussion. You can say, I hated that scent. It's gross. It's disgusting. Or you can say, I love it. And I know that a lot of Halloween nuts, though, that have this, we kind of share the same opinion to where this is like, this is top tier, right? This is awesome. It's so conceptual. I can see, though, why, this Halloween scent collection didn't work the first time, because so that's the deal with this pre-order, right? I know some of you are wondering, why are they doing the pre-order? And I don't really know, but I'm gonna make a pretty educated guess here. When they released this line in 2014, it wasn't well received. And I know from talking to folks up in the New England area, these things just sat on shelves forever, and that's why Kringle did not want to do it again and was hesitant. I know last year they teased Witch's Cauldron coming back, and some of the ones that they are releasing now, they teased them. They didn't release them last year. The only reason I'm guessing though is because they were snake bitten from before with the Halloween collection. They had so many of those just sitting on shelves, and they were giving those away. Then slowly the reputation for them started to build, and then they realized, oh wait, people want Halloween candles. I think these candles were just kind of released maybe ahead of their time, to where now a lot of Halloween nuts have gravitated towards candles, or maybe they weren't there 5 years ago. I don't know. I'm trying to think of why they would do it. But anyways, I think they're doing the pre-order. They did the pre-order this year because they could gauge interest without producing a ton of them and having a bunch sit on shelves. Now, I know from, as I'm filming this, we're just a day into it, and a ton of you guys, like, my Instagram has been the busiest it ever has been from some of you folks who have been messaging me asking about these candles. Do you recommend this? That's the whole why I'm doing this video today, actually, is I figured enough of you guys wanted to know. So, yeah. But anyways, I think that's why Kringle's doing it. I have a feeling they're probably going to be, once they're seeing the reception to these and all the hype around them, they're probably going to be a normal part of every fall, like a release. And it should be. Maybe not the massive amount that they're doing this year, because that is pretty crazy how many they're doing. But, you know, kudos to them. You're going to see discussion of those new fragrances and some of the old ones on this channel. I'm going all in. Again, I spent like $200 on candles for them, the Halloween collection. I know some of my friends are doing it. Brett, Philly Candleman, bought a bunch of them. Anthony, I'm going to try and talk Anthony actually to doing one of the collaboration ones with one of these scents that we're buying. But I know he bought candy corn. I don't know what else to say, guys. I'm just like pumped with Halloween energy. So that's why this video, I love it. I am so happy my beloved Witch's Cauldron is coming back. And I invite you, if for nothing else, check that out. Or candy corn. Candy corn's very inviting. The other ones, those are kind of crazy, and if you really want them, if you're a hardcore Halloween aficionado, try them out. Nothing else great to have on your mantle, but the whole collection is very conceptual for the most part. Mine is candy corn, but candy corn is just a good traditional favorite. So you know that's probably why it wasn't well received before. I applaud Kringle for bringing it back. Halloween nuts are excited, and hey, if nothing else, even if you're not interested in those things at all, hopefully this video maybe educates you a little bit more on why are people so excited about them? What were the scents before? And why are they doing a pre-order? Why aren't they just releasing it? So that's my guess. It's, again, they just don't want to be caught like they did before when they did a Halloween line and have a bunch of them on shelves. I don't think that's going to be a problem this time around. So hey, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys for letting me just ramble on about my favorite Halloween candles here. I love the Kringle line, and I cannot wait to talk about the full line whenever I get those, I guess mid-August. So thank you guys very much for watching. Go buy Witch's Cauldron. Go buy Witch's Cauldron. Come on. If nothing else, I want this to stay out forever. So I hope it sells very well for them. And I hope they didn't change the fragrances. I should say that. I don't know if they changed any of the fragrances. That's why I'm going to do the comparisons. But assuming they didn't, I can't wait for this. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon.